Hello, welcome to Infinite Prattle. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today, I've been away working this week, and I've just been. Sometimes when I go away, I get a bit in awe of things, about how things work and the majesty of the world and stuff like that. So I just wanted to go through some facts I'd found out and other things that I've googled today, literally 30 seconds before recording this. So join me on a magical mystery ride of unbelievable facts.
You're listening to Infinite Prattle with your host, Stephen. Thanks for joining me for unscripted, unedited, everything.
Yes, thank you very much for joining me today. So oh gosh, got a frog in my throat. What's going on with me today? I actually woke up this morning choking. It was really, really, really nice. It's nothing what this podcast is about. I'll just tell you because it was quite amusing. I think my wife thought it was funny. In my dream, I was dreaming I was with the Foo Fighters in a car. I was riding on the back of a car, to be honest, and it was Taylor Hawkins' car, and he was still alive, bless him. And I was hanging on for dear life on the back of the car, and in the dream I started choking, but I was actually choking in real life. So yeah, what a weird one. Anyway, hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so today, I don't know what relevance that was anyway. Today I just wanted to go through some things that um I'd found on the internet and some stuff I'd heard, and it got me thinking about just like looking at random facts. So I've not really read these, to be honest. I just thought I'd go through a couple with you and just share the awe and um you know think join join together in the awe-inspiring world of factual things that you couldn't actually really believe are real. So I've got a couple of websites I've used. One of them is just the DK website. It's kind of advertising a book. It was a children's book, Unbelievable Facts, and another one was just a website, basically um, ef.co.uk, so a British website, just basically categorizing different random facts. So that's all I'm doing today. Is I'm going to go through them, and I don't know how many I'm going to do. I'm just going to say them and react to them and spread some facts because this is not normally that. Well, I do share stuff, but I feel like this show needed to be more factual. So this is the factual episode. So so that's what I'm doing today. Facts all the way on today's episode. And we'll see how that goes. I'm just messing with. I'm always messing with my microphone, so I apologize. I'm just having another mess with it now. There we go. Does that sound better or worse? I don't even know. Um, it always sounds different after a recorder as well. It never sounds exactly the same. It always sounds clearer after a recorder, and it always sounds worse when I'm recording it. It's a little bit weird. I need to look into that. Anyway, two tangents down. Let's get back on track. Just took a slurp from Pepsi Max. Standard. Not a sponsor yet. Keeping them big dreams going, you know? Anyway, right. So, here, the first one is from this DK website, and it says, all the electricity powering the internet weighs the same as an apricot. I'm guessing that's a standard size apricot. So that's all the electrons powering the internet weighs the same as an apricot. That is pretty bonkers. But I think the problem with that one for me is I can't get my head around that, so it just seems meh. It seems meh to me because I can't really get my head around that one. This one, however, a hippo's jaw opens wide enough to fit an entire sports car inside. Hmm. I've never seen a hippo actually. I don't think I've ever seen one at a zoo, or I've never seen one in the wild. I'm guessing that wouldn't be lengthways. That'd be sideways, the width of it. But still, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? They're one of the most dangerous animals as well, aren't they? In Africa, I believe they kill and hurt more people than any other animal. Which you would presume it'd be something like a lion or a hyena or something like that. If you were to fall from the North Pole to the South Pole through the Earth's core, if that was possible, it would take 19 minutes. That's quite crazy. That shows how big the Earth is, really, doesn't it? Like, through the center point. In a group of 23 people, there's more than a 50% chance that two of them share a birthday. What? What? So out of 23 people, there's more than a 50% chance that two of them would share a birthday. With a group of 57 people, there's a 99.01% probability. And for 70 people, there's a 99.92%. Okay, this is broke. This is now an unbelievable fact that has now broke my brain. 23, 50% chance that two people share a birthday. 57 people, there's a 99% chance. And basically, if there's 70 people, there's near on a 100% chance that someone's going to share a birthday. But there's like 365 days in a year. So 23 people. Nope, gone. Brain's gone already. Don't understand how that works. Moving on. That's bonkers. That can't be right. How do you know that? Is that just like a mathematical certainty? It's so weird. And it's estimated that the typical pencil has enough graphite to draw a line 56 kilometers long, or 20 times the length of the Golden Gate Bridge. Now that's impressive, and also kind of like a mute point, because I don't think I've ever got a pencil down more than halfway before I've lost it. So I've throughout my life wasted probably like 28 kilometers of potential writing or drawing, which seems pretty wasteful. Well, we are quite wasteful as a species, really, aren't we? That's pretty crazy. I'm more thinking about the fact I've wasted all that mileage in a pencil. It says here, I'm not reading them all, by the way. A calculation suggests that 136 billion sheets of paper would be needed to print out the entire World Wide Web. And if the printouts were stacked up end to end, they would be taller than the Earth. Well, there we go. I think that's quite impressive, really. 136 billion sheets of paper. Again, these figures, like, you don't realize how much bigger a billion is than a million. I mean, I know you got an extra zero and stuff, but it's a massive difference, isn't it? It's a whole what do you call that? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's huge. It's huge because when someone says, "Oh, like I am a millionaire," you think, "Oh God, you're rich." But if they have 10 million, they're like, I mean, that's rich, isn't it? 10 million is a lot. But if you say you've got 10 billion, that's 10,000 million, isn't it? Yeah, 10,000 million. So it's the power of 3 to the power of 3. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm impressing myself now with my own my own math. I probably got it wrong. 6 generations back, you have 64 great grandparents. Eh? So if you go back 6 generations, you end up with having 64 great grandparents. Oh, because it's like the parents of the parents of the parents of the parents. That's quite cool. That's quite cool. I've never really got family trees and how they work though. That makes me sound really stupid, but I always get confused about like what's a first cousin, second cousin, and all that sort of stuff. Well, I did my family tree when I was joining the army, actually, when I was applying for the army. I did an episode on that a while ago. I think it was an extra speak episode when I was still Stephen Speak. And yeah, we had to go back on the family tree to trace the family tree because my mum was Irish and my dad's in the army, and they wanted very in depth stuff because of them family ties. Yeah, I always get confused and who knew who and who's the daughter of who, and yeah, and then you have them. Don't you always get in families? You get that the auntie that's not actually an auntie, and it's just a family friend, but everyone calls them auntie. I don't know if that's a thing worldwide. Is that a thing in America where you just call someone auntie and they're actually just a friend? It's a big thing in the UK. Like you call someone an uncle, and they might not actually be your uncle. Yeah, I think it's just an easy way to explain it to a child sometimes, rather than saying this is it's easy to say. This is Aunt Bessie. Aunt Bessie, that's where that came from. She cooks the Yorkshire puddings. For my American listeners, Aunt Bessie in the UK is a brand, and she does like roast potatoes and Yorkshire puddings. But yeah, we instead of saying this is Bessie, a family friend, we just started calling them Aunt Bessie, or whatever their name is. Anyway, back to the factual stuff. I suppose that was factual. Talking a bit about British culture. So this is another website. This is the EF website. I don't know what EF stands for actually. No idea. But this one's about 50 unbelievable facts about the world to make you seem cultured. But they're all categories of like nature and history and stuff like this. So nature, the deepest place on Earth is the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean, and it is 36,201 feet deep. That's almost 7 miles. So 7 miles under the sea. That's crazy. And I think this is a fact that I'm adding in. I believe that we know more about the surface of the moon than we do the ocean, and especially the Mariana Trench. I don't even know if there's anything deep enough to go to the bottom of there. Like, let me know if there is. Has there been an expedition to the bottom of the Mariana Trench? Have we been able to withstand the pressures of 7 miles deep into the sea? I have no idea. That's crazy. A pineapple takes 2 years to grow. See, there's some organisation there, because you take for granted, don't you, that, things are seasonal, or you can just grow them anytime you want, or you get a plant, and plants grow pretty quickly, but the fruits are a little bit different. So the fact that a pineapple takes 2 years to grow, and yet they're always on the shelves is it's quite impressive. It impresses me. I can't grow anything for shit. I'd love my own like vegetable garden and stuff like that, but I think I'd be terrible at it. I genuinely think I would. It's all that understanding of like when do you plant stuff, when how do you harvest, how do you know what the plants need. I know there's all the things if the leaves and stuff are different colours, and it depends if they need nitrites or nitrates or whatever it is. Yeah, but I think I'd be bad. I suppose if that was my sole job, if I was like off grid, didn't have a main job, I could literally put all my time into it, couldn't I? Acacia trees in Africa communicate with each other. What? They emit gases to alert other trees to produce toxic tannin, which protects them from hungry animals. Oh, so it must be if one starts getting eaten, they produce a chemical gas, and when the other trees sense it, they start producing a toxin, so all the other trees don't die. That's do you think of trees and plants of like not communicating and being some sort of like, I know they reproduce and stuff like that, but you don't really think of them that way. I know those were sort of years ago to see if plants could feel, and they would like get people to like brush past something, and then I don't know how they were triggering it. Whether it was some sort of, I'm guessing must be some sort of chemical response from the plant to see if they actually could feel someone brushing past them, and it turned out that they could. So I think that's where the whole thing of like going and talking to your plants and caressing them and stuff came from. That made them healthier. Yeah, that's crazy. Armadillos are bulletproof, and it says in brackets, "This is not an invitation to test the fact." So don't go shooting armadillos, but apparently they're bulletproof. I'm not sure what caliber up to. Surely they wouldn't be able to withstand a 50 BMG. I'm sure that would be a small caliber, but that's pretty cool though that they're bulletproof. To a degree, I would assume. I wouldn't think they'd be taking a big round. Would they? I don't know. Maybe they would. Maybe there's bulletproof indefinitely. Maybe they could handle an RPG. I doubt it. Don't try it. Um, Now this is quite a cool fact. In fact, this is quite an amazing fact. It says here, it would take you approximately 18 months to walk the entire length of the Great Wall of China. It's over 5,000 miles long. See, when someone says something's 5,000 miles long, you go, oh, that's quite long, don't you? But when you put it in perspective that it would take you 18 months to walk all the way along, I mean, is that 18 months of constant walking, or is that 18 months of 8 hours a day? I don't know. But still, even if it was 6 months of constant walking, that's some length. That's quite cool. I don't even know why the Great Wall of China was built, actually. Does anyone know? Let me know if you know. I feel like isn't that one of them mysteries that they don't fully know why it was built. someone asked for it to be built, and that was it. I don't know. Maybe I'm making it out of my brain. Maybe there is a reason for it. It's really obvious, and I just have forgotten it or never knew it. History. We'll move on to history. What are the other categories? Art and culture, people and countries. No way, really. We definitely have to do that one because that sounds like it's going to be a fun one. So we'll do a couple of these other ones. I love facts about things like this, and I think the more ridiculous. I mean, I heard on there's a black physicist in America. I can't think of it. Is it Neil something deGrasse, Tyson deGrasse, Neil deGrasse? I can't think. Should have probably googled his name. And he does little YouTube videos and shorts and stuff. And basically, one of the facts I watched the other day was that it was all about the concept of time going faster than speed. You know, if you approach the speed of light, you as the person going towards the speed of light, time slows down. But everyone on the ground, it's normal time. But technically, when you come back, your clock will be slower. And they were saying that he was saying that basically like when light leaves the sun. So there might have been a photon which has like no mass. So when a photon is born out of a star, it might take, I don't know, like 8 million years for the light to get to us. But as soon as that light bounces off something and like comes into existence, it doesn't remember the journey because I'm probably really explaining this wrong. But basically, they have no, because they're so small and they travel at the speed of light. They have no time doesn't move for them. So relative from their position, that 8 million year journey didn't happen. So they literally are born and instantly arrive to be received by our eyes. Now stuff like that hurts my head, and it's amazing. And people that can explain it, like him, a lot better than me, yeah, they're marvels as well. The national flag with the most the national flag with most colours in it is Belize, 1981, with 12. So I'm guessing Belize doesn't have the same flag anymore. I don't know. The first handheld mobile phone call was made on April 3rd, 1973, in New York City. Buzz Aldrin, the second man to ever step on the moon, actually peed himself while walking on the surface, apparently. Well, that's embarrassing, isn't it? The American Revolution, 1765 to 1783, came before the French Revolution, 1789 to 1799. I don't know. Why is that? Why is that an amazing fact? Is it because everyone thinks the French Revolution was the first revolution? And because everyone thinks that America's too young, it would be after? I don't know. The Anglo-Zanzibar War in 1896 was the shortest war ever, lasting 38 minutes. 38 minutes? That's almost like declaring war, going for a cup of tea, and then coming back and saying, yeah, let's just call it a draw. I wonder why that was. Was it like 38 minutes of absolute devastation and then they give up? I have no idea. There's no context to these, you see, so. The printing press, which revolutionized the sharing of information, was invented by Gutenberg around the year 1440. See, I wouldn't have thought a printing press would go back that far. So that's quite cool. The largest can't speak today. I can't speak most days actually. The largest contiguous land empire in history is the Mongol Empire, 13th and 14th century. Yeah, everyone thinks it's the Roman Empire, don't they? Or even some people think it's the British Empire. But yeah, the Mongol Empire was huge. Yeah. And I don't know if it's true, but there's a thing, isn't there, saying that if you trace your ancestry back, you can find like Mongol heritage because Genghis Khan was such a dirty bastard. Basically, he was sleeping with everyone, and he had multiple wives, and he had like so many children that they say that basically that means that everyone's got a little bit of his DNA. I don't actually know if that's true. I don't think it's true. But having said that, that whole grandparent thing before, like you go back 6 generations, you got 64 grandparents or great grandparents. That's so you don't have to go back that far before you start sharing things. Art and culture. the name Sandwich comes from an 18th century aristocrat, the Earl of Sandwich, the fourth Earl of Sandwich. I knew that. I'm British. Yes. He was British. I'm sure he was. 9,310 tweets are sent every second. Well, that's quite a lot, isn't it? Are they allowed to be called tweets now? I'm guessing this page maybe have become a thing before X was a thing. I don't know. Do people still call it? I don't know if I call it a tweet. I don't know. It's a post, isn't it? Never really thought about it. Salvador Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci is the most expensive painting in the world, valued at 450.3 million. Wow. Like, is that ever going to be sold? And how do you put that figure on it? Like, how is that the most expensive? Why is that I don't even know what that picture is. That's how uncultured I am. The most visited country on the planet is France, with 90 million tourists a year. Huh. Avengers Endgame is the top grossing film of all time, making 2.7 billion. That's quite a lot of money. Okay, before we go, here's a couple from the No Way Really list. Okay, when you do a Google query, 1,000 computers are used to find the answer in 0.2 seconds. Oh, that's pretty cool. There are almost 5 billion internet users in the world. Well, that's pretty much the entire population of the world, isn't it? We actually produce enough food to feed everyone on the planet. The problem is distribution. Well, I knew that one. It's a sad issue, that is, isn't it, really? Considering we throw a lot of it away and it could be going into people's bellies. A tiger's roar can be heard up to 2 miles away. That's quite disconcerting, though, isn't it? If you were camping in the forest, and you heard a tiger roar, it could be literally down the road or 2 miles away. Owls don't have eyeballs. What? Piss off. What? Owls don't have eyeballs. What? Well, I'm going to leave you with that one, because I'm going to have to go Google it myself. That's ridiculous. Owls don't have eyeballs. And on that bombshell, I'm going to say thank you very much for listening. And, let me know what you think about any of these facts. Also, the problem with fake news as well nowadays, like, were all these correct? I'm wondering, things get updated all the time, don't they? So, were all these correct, or have things changed? Thank you very much for listening. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends if you've enjoyed today. Share it with them. Share it on your social medias. Like, any exposure I can get is so brilliant for me. And I'm still doing this for the love of the talking down this microphone to you. But I always like a few more downloads. Would be nice. Let's reach more people. Let's terrorize more people. Yes, that's the plan, Steve. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Infinite Prattle with your host, Stephen. Follow me on social networks at Infinite Prattle, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks very much.